All right, y'all. Welcome. This is Put It On Record, the podcast about DJing, hosted by DJs. My name is DJ Byrne. Shout out to Recio. Don't fret. Do remember Love Language. The first one of the year is Saturday, February 7th. That's at Cure Cocktail Lounge, Columbus, Ohio. Pull up on us. All R&B, all the time. Everybody complains about hearing the same R&B songs at these R&B parties. Also complain about hearing rap and trap music at R&B parties. So this is strictly good R&B by the three of us. Good selection of songs, album cuts. I'm going to get into my bag. Make sure you come check us out. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening on your favorite podcast app, rate, review us, give us the 5 stars, leave a comment, do all that. We appreciate it. So this one's going to be brief. I say that every time. I'm probably lying, but it's just me and my homie. Shout out to him. And we are going to be talking about NAMM. I had my first NAMM experience. For those of you listening to this that don't know what NAMM is, the camera's kind of crooked. Oh, well, who cares? NAMM is the National Association of Music Merchants, and this is a convention in Anaheim, California. Basically, all the companies that make musical equipment, they have like a convention. As you can tell, this is my first one, and I don't really know the ins and out of it. But just think about any companies that make, recording equipment, drums, guitars, violins, saxophones. Sure, they do wireless microphones, that kind of technology. The company that makes Pro Tools, they were there. And why this is important is because over the years, DJing has become such a big thing in the music industry that there's a big segment specifically for DJs. So companies like Alpha Theta, Reloop, Phase, Hercules DJ, they have booths. You can test out DJ equipment. You can see DJ equipment coming soon. And of course, they have DJs come demo their equipment. And it's just a big convention. If you've ever been to a convention, you just come see the sights, meet people, shake hands, kiss babies, all that. And so, shout out to my guy, DJ Chubby Swag. He went last year. He was like, man, this is such an amazing time. You got to come. And I was like, all right, bet. So flew to LA this whole weekend. If I can summarize it, if you're a DJ, this is like DJ All-Star Weekend. If you're a DJ and you enjoy DJ culture, this is the place for you to go, because not only can you, test out the latest DJ equipment, even some equipment that hasn't been released yet. We're going to talk about that later. Meet world famous DJs, legendary hip hop DJs, popular DJs from social media, content creators, everything in between. And also because it's a musical thing, like Stevie Wonder was there. Stevie Wonder, that's crazy. Hit Boy, Teddy Riley, Young Guru, it's just, if you like music, especially if you're a DJ, this convention is 100% worth it. The ticket was $150, and that just got you into the convention. And there was also different activations you can do, like seminars, learning about the music business and all that. I didn't get any of that because I just wanted to go see the convention for what it was. So it was from the actual convention itself was from Thursday to Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days. So I flew into LA on Wednesday, and because I'm not a professional podcaster, of course I don't have any notes or bullet points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my photo album in my phone, and I am going to go through my photos and give you a play-by-play that way. So also keep in mind, if you're anywhere in the United States outside of the West Coast, there was a big winter storm this weekend too. So I picked the perfect time to go to Southern California. 65 degrees in the day, 50 degrees at night. I'm running around with shorts and a t-shirt on. I actually don't even know why I came back. Just a quick thing on the weather. I was supposed to fly back on Sunday. Sunday is when Columbus, Ohio got hit the hardest with the snow. So my flight got canceled, and along with a bunch of other people's. And I guess a lot of people flew out Saturday night. I had a DJ. I had a DJ gig that Saturday night, so I couldn't fly out Saturday night. So I switched it to Monday, and flying back in the city on Monday was it was just like a normal day. It wasn't any busier than LAX normally is. Actually, in my first flight was halfway empty. The second flight was completely full, but that's enough about flying. Let's start with Wednesday. Once again, I appreciate y'all. Bear with me. So I fly into LAX, and Wednesday night there was an event at the Well, which is on Santa Monica. This was a DJ showcase hosted by, big shout out to DJ As Is, and there was a bunch of great DJs there. Shout out to Boy Genius, Waddy J, Ease, DJ Popo, world-class DJs, and DJ Chubby Swag. So he had the DJ that event. It was from 8 to 12 or something. So because I flew in at 10, I just caught an Uber over there. And this was what we call an artisan showcase. So 15, 20, 30-minute sets, routines, however you want to get busy. And like I said, fresh off the plane, I am in awe with the level of DJing I'm seeing. I'm talking about, once again, these are world-class championship DJs doing all kind of routines, cuts, blends, wordplay, transitions seamlessly. And I am in awe. Like, this is pretty much the theme of my whole weekend, is like, I saw so much stuff that as soon as I came back, I got some practicing. Like, I was inspired. Like, man, I think I'm a pretty good DJ, but it was like a whole like I said, it's like going to the All-Star game. Like, you think you can hoop, and then you see these world-class athletes, and once again, the best of the best. And this wasn't even NAMM. This was a pre-NAMM event. So I went there, met everybody. And another theme of the weekend is that everybody was super kind and friendly. And you can just tell that people that love DJing and love the DJ community, that's really what it's about. It's not about where you're from, what you've done, how many followers you got, all that. It's just like, hey, you're a DJ, I'm a DJ too. We both love DJing. Like, hey, let's hang out, let's chop it up, let's community. That's a big theme in general. So went there, but because I had been up since 5 a.m. and I was traveling, and it was 5 a.m. Eastern, and I was traveling, by the time 12 midnight came in Pacific time, that's 3 a.m. Eastern. I'm like, man, I'm beat. So when I got there, Waddy J was doing his thing. No, Ease or Waddy J, one of them. Saw both of them, and when DJ Popo got on, I had to leave because I'm like, I'm tired. And plus, we had to get up early the next morning to head out to NAMM. So big shout out to DJ Chubby Swag too, who let me crash with him and who did all the driving this weekend. So I didn't have to rent a car or pay for a hotel. Easily saved me like $1,000, right? So we get up. I do have to mention, because I'm a fat boy, we went to a breakfast spot that has coffee and tacos called Puerto Nuevo. I don't speak Spanish, so that's probably not how you say it, but chicken sausage burrito, 10 out of 10, amazing. And I would like to say I did pretty good with staying on my diet, and I still maintain my 16-8 intermittent fasting schedule, which the next episode after this, we're actually going to talk about all of that at length, health as well. So we get to NAMM, pick up my badges. I guess when I signed up, you could say you just an attendee, you're a business owner, or you have an exhibit, all that. I put down as a content creator because I guess that's what I do. So got the badge, went in. And once again, this is a convention center, so the place was huge. So as we're standing outside, actually, it's funny, like, we're standing before we go in, and we see all these people in Letterman's jacket walk by, and they had Playlist Retreat Letterman's jacket, and Chubby made a joke like, man, Jeff running around NAMM like Pac, and that was hilarious because it was really like 20 people in playlist Letterman jackets, and none of them was him. So it was like they was mobbing or whatever, but that was funny. So we go in. The first thing we want to do, I want to say, because I seen Waddy J the night before. He was like, "Man, you coming to NAMM?" I'm like, "Oh, for sure." Like, and most of the time was spent at the Beat Junkies booth. If you don't know who the Beat Junkies are, I don't know why you listen to this podcast, but Beat Junkies, world famous hip hop DJ conglomerate, and they also have a school out in Southern California. So they have their own booth next to Jetpack brand, and a bunch of great DJs was DJing at that booth, but including Waddy J and DJ Active and DJ Ghetto. So I was like, let's hurry up and get to the booth. Definitely want to see Waddy J get busy. Definitely also want to see DJ Active, DJ Ghetto. And that was the first day was all about just, getting our feet wet, seeing exactly because it was my first experience. I just want to see what the convention was actually like. So we walk in, you see all these companies, huge booths, LED screens, people DJing, cutting up. I think when we got there, I think Hubert was on the reloop stage. I don't know what stage it was, but it was one of the bigger stages, obviously. So yeah, we get there right in time to see Waddy J get busy. He's doing a little 20-minute routine, going crazy. And I'm standing right, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of DJs, and he was incredible. So big shout out to Waddy J. Saw him. What was next? I'm going through my photo album because once again, I ain't taking no notes. Another amazing thing about this weekend is just being able to meet, because it's a convention and everybody's just walking around, other than like Stevie Wonder, who is obviously walking around with a bunch of people around him, being vision impaired, and also because it's Stevie Wonder. But mostly everybody was just approachable. Like, you see people walking around, people, hip hop legends, and people that I follow on Instagram that are incredible DJs. So that'll be a lot of this conversation as well. Big shout out to DJ Flawless. That's Flawless the Motivator on IG. If you're not familiar, I'm sure you've seen his videos. He always has the gloves on when he's DJing. Met him, and I was kind of taken aback at how many people recognize me. Like, "Oh, you DJ Burn, I'm familiar with your work, blah, blah, blah." And once again, these are people I look up to and hold in high regard. So to have them say that about me, I was like, "Oh, that's crazy that you even know who I am. Like, why do you know who I am?" Anyways, so Flawless the Motivator, he was there, and he was like, "Oh, this is my first day at NAMM, but tomorrow I have to go do a show with Exhibit, so I won't be here." I was like, fire. That's Exhibit DJ. So next up was DJ Active and DJ Ghetto doing a combo set, and I might put the video here on YouTube so you can see it. So obviously doing routines, and it's crazy, but DJ Ghetto pulled out this guitar that was a CDJ and was rapping and scratching on the guitar while DJ Active was cutting up. I can't even explain it. Like, I got to put the video up on YouTube so you can see it. So that was dope to see. We went over to the Hercules booth, and I met DJ Trace for the first time. Big shout out to Trace. Super kind person. He, came up out of DC, so him and Chubby are familiar with each other. And also, if I haven't said it before, big shout out to DJ Chubby Swag, because anytime we met somebody, the first thing Chubby says, "Hey, this is DJ Burn. This is my boy. He's from Columbus, Ohio, blah, blah, blah." He introduced me to everybody. And, we'll get to more of that later, but, I can't stress enough how much that means to me. And, it does a lot for me, for my career. So I met Trace, and then we're just walking around. Because it's a convention, these are a lot of companies that sell PA equipment and DJ equipment. But, it's not all just Alpha Theta, Phase, Reloop, all that. Towards the back is the lesser known companies. some of the companies can't come straight from China. Chubby actually made a great comparison. It's like, if you're on Instagram or YouTube and you see those videos of the guy reviewing the cars, the SUVs, the EV vehicles that are only available in China, got all these features, do all this stuff American cars don't do, and they're way cheaper. So these companies in the back had mics and cables and column speakers, subwoofers, stands, lights. Amazing quality from what I can see, but not a name brand you're familiar with. But they're all a fraction of the cost. So we spent some time back there just looking and seeing who had what, possibly to purchase something, whatever. Or a lot of them, have pamphlets, and a lot of these companies are also on Amazon. So you can be like, hey, you buy something on Amazon that's not name brand, you don't know what you're getting, but you can hear it in person and then go buy it on Amazon. Boom. So we did that. Saw some dope exhibits. There was actually a booth that would, can press vinyl on the spot. I can't think of the company, but they do custom vinyl inserts and all that, 300 a piece minimum, but $10 a piece. So for $3,000, you get 300 vinyls. And, if you're confident in your product, you can move 300 units, you can sell a vinyl for 20 minimum and, turn a profit. So came back up to the Beat Junkies booth because Trey's was about to go on. And who do we run into? This is the first big wow moment of the weekend. It was Mixmaster Mike. And for those of you who don't know who Mixmaster Mike is, that's the DJ for the Beastie Boys. That is a hip-hop icon, legendary DJ. And depending on who you ask, actually, I think most videos I've seen, most people consider Mixmaster Mike the top or the best DJ as far as technique, performance, all that. And once again, just standing there, hanging out. I go to him, I'm like, hey man, I'm a big fan, you a legend, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. He's like, oh, where you from? I was like, Ohio. He was like, oh, that's crazy. I'm a big Buckeye fan. I was like, you a Buckeye fan? That makes you even more the GOAT, man. I gotta shake your hand. So we talked about that for a minute, and then him and Chubby was talking about. And Chubby was like, "Oh, I'm from LA," and Mike was like, my people's from LA. I'm California for real. And then we talking it up. He's like, "You want to take a picture?" Took a picture. Super humble guy. And he was like, yeah, I usually don't come to these, but I just decided to just show up, which is funny because he said that. And later on that night, I saw a flyer go like, Mixmaster Mike will be performing tomorrow. So I don't know if he was on the schedule, but I'm sure some company saw him and was like, hey man, we'll give you a bag if you perform. And the next day when I saw him perform, he had the biggest crowd. Like you would have thought it was Beyonce in there. Like he's up there going crazy and the biggest crowd. Anyways, so Trey's goes on. See Trey's do his routine. He's also going crazy. I'm glad I got video of all this stuff too. And then we're walking around some more. Other companies are there too that I'm familiar with. 12-inch skins. Of course, the rain system 1 is the big thing that was just announced. So that was there. And while we're sitting there looking at the rain system 1, we actually ran into Battle Cat, who Chubby has met before. Battle Cat, legendary producer and DJ. And like I said, I see a big ass crowd. I'm like, damn, nigga, that's Stevie Wonder. Wow. Like Stevie, like, what else can I say? Stevie Wonder. Didn't take a picture with him because, I had a big crowd around him. And that was the only person that was like, had somebody with him that was, facilitating things. So that kind of wasn't possible. I met, let me get the name right. I know what the IG name is, but I want to make sure I get the DJ name. Canvas. DJ / producer. The IG name is I Hear Canvas, but I'm sitting there looking at him like, this guy looks familiar. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, go look up his content. I know you've seen it before, but he got 2 million followers, and this was kind of like a heat check. I was like, oh man, I'm a big fan of yours. Just seeing you like, oh man, Burn, I know you, and he didn't. So I'm not famous enough yet, but that's okay. So super nice guy, super humble, told him I like his content. He's like, I appreciate it, man. You having a good time, blah, blah, blah. Take a picture. Fine, And that's really what it's about. So that was fire. We went then over to the phase. There's like a section where it had phase, reloop, and they had the reloop, the 7-inch vinyl turntables. Got to use those. Met a guy there who makes custom vinyl, and he actually showed us, his name is DJ Bubbles. He showed us a custom vinyl he made that had a LED strip inside of it that only activated when you put it on a turntable, and it was a LED strip. I'm like, bro, this is genius. He's like, yeah, I got a patent lawyer. I finally got a patent, so I'm just here showing it off. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna need one of these whenever they come out. So got to meet him, cool dude. And now we were headed out because at this point we had been there 3 or 4 hours, and I'm like, bro, let's get up out of here. Tired, head back to the crib, did that. And that was that for the first day. Also, outside the garage, they had like activations going in before you go in, and DJ Popo was out there in like a little inflatable tent DJing for, let me see what this company is, DAS. I'm pretty sure they make speakers, so shout out to him. So that was day one. What day was that? Thursday? Yeah. Wasn't nothing to do that night, so I didn't go out. So let's talk about day two. Now, day two, and also why I went out there, big shout out to Train of Thought Collective. They make great merchandise, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and they had reached out to me on Instagram and sent me a little care package with some, if you see my other videos, they're R&B centered shirts, and they're dope, great quality, great print, great design. So I had seen the homeboy Thurston. He had did a mix at their warehouse. Like, he was DJing, they was folding clothes in the back. And so I hit him up. I said, hey, I'm going to be in LA for NAMM. I would love to come by and do a mix for y'all. And like, shout out to Justin. That's the guy over there. He said, oh, for sure. Our warehouse is actually in Anaheim. It's like down the street from the convention center. It's 10 minutes away. So come through on Friday, 1 p.m. Bet. So the point of today was to go do this mix. Okay, also rewind. I had saw that Young Guru was going to be at NAMM speaking at the Pro Tools booth, but on Instagram it didn't say when. So we went by the booth Thursday to see what time he's going to be there. The Thursday schedule was up, but his name went on there. So I asked the person that worked there. They didn't know either. I commented on their Instagram. Nobody had any idea. So on Friday, I was like, I don't want to miss him. And plus Jazzy Jeff was DJing Friday at 2 p.m. So I was like, I gotta record this set at 1. So let's get over there and record that. Then we'll run over to NAMM, see if we can track down Jazzy Jeff and Young Guru. So we get to Anaheim early. We go to a brunch spot called Snooze. I had some fire. It was like a chicken omelet. I don't know what it was. It was fire. Shout out to them. And then I headed over to Train of Thought Collective. So headed over there, went to set up. I had prepared like a little 45-minute set. They had a Rain 1 Mark II there. That's the white one. And it was like, hey, get busy. So went in there, did my thing. I think I did a pretty good job. I guess you'll see when the video comes out. It should come out within the next month. And chopped it up with them. We definitely gonna do some more work in the future. They were super nice. And I made sure I, try to plug Chubby in because that's what all this is for. And plus he lives there, I don't. So, and then we had to run over to NAMM. So at that point we ran over to NAMM. The first day they made us park in the garage at the Hyatt. It was $50 parking, but we, busted a little move and got around that. So the next day, and the first day it was raining too. Whoever says it doesn't rain in Southern California, that's not accurate. But the next day it's like, hey, it's going to be sunny. I ain't trying to pay for parking. So and around the convention center, you got to have a permit to park in the neighborhood, which I get. Cause if I live there, I would hate for there'd be no street parking because of the convention center. So We had to park like 8 blocks away, but I'm down to walk anyway. So parked away, ran downstairs, and it's like, what do we do? Do we go to the Pro Tools booth to find Young Guru first? Well, let's see if Jazzy Jeff's still on. So we're like, whatever. We'll just go see what Jazzy Jeff doing. And wouldn't you know, 2 birds, 1 stone. Saw Jazzy Jeff walking around with Young Guru. Perfect. So Jazzy Jeff also had a big crowd around him because it's Jeff. Like, duh. So as I'm waiting for him, I look over and who do I see? Wow, the Road Podcast people. So big shout out to Crooked, Jamie the Great, Goldfinger. They were actually interviewing somebody. Actually, DJ Nick Davis, shout out to him, was the one conducting the interview, and they was behind. Jamie was behind the camera, and I seen Crooked. I've talked to Crooked online, and we both Korean. So I walk up to him, he's like, "Oh, snap, burn, blah, blah, blah." We chopped it up a little bit, and then talking about the pod or whatever. And then I'm talking to him while Chubby is trying to get Jeff attention, and so I'm like, "Oh, let me go get this picture real quick." And so Chubby sees Guru. Chubby actually had a Howard crew neck for him, so he's like, showing it to him, whatever. And Guru's like, "Oh, bet I need that for sure. Also, I forgot to mention that when we couldn't find the schedule for Guru, Chubby just texting like, "Hey, what time you gonna be down there?" He's like, "Oh, I'm moving around, blah blah blah." And so we just happened to run into him while he was moving around. Great. So he knew we was trying to find him and give him the crew neck. So what's funny is that, obviously Guru went to Howard, big Howard alum, and he liked the crew neck, so he showed Jeff. Jeff was like, "Oh, that's hard. I ain't go to Howard, but can I get one?" And so Chubby's like, "Of course, man. We'll give it to Corey and get it to you, whatever." So I took a picture, chopped it up with Jeff. It was short, it was brief, but that's Jeff. I might have to frame that picture. And Chubby took the flick with Guru, and that's that. So then Chubby's about to, Chubby actually points across the way and was like, "Oh, that's a DJ AK." I was like, "Oh, snap. I know her from Instagram." So I was like, "Let me go say hi and introduce myself." I walk over, she's like, "Oh my God, Burn." I'm like, once again, I'm surprised. The Instagram for me, honestly, is just numbers on the phone. Like, I'm still, it's whatever for me. But I guess I can't, I have to realize that, I got almost 150,000 followers and all these views. So of course people see, who do I think is watching these, videos and liking them? And, it's, some people might not like or comment or even follow, but people are watching them. And so it come across the timeline, just like my stuff, other people's stuff come across my timeline. So of course, I got a distinct looks. People would recognize me. So I'm always surprised when somebody knows who I am. Cause I'm like, why do you, whatever. But so she was doing some content, and so I asked me a question. I said on camera, it'll probably come out, so just be on the lookout for that. I'm sure I'll repost it. And then DJ Nick Davis interviewed Chubby for Road Podcast, and then I think we had went back to the Beat Junkies booth and ran into Waddy J, Spider Tech, Ken Dollars, and took a group photo. That's dope. Every DJ I met was, like I said, nice, welcoming. You can tell that, we're all DJs. It's all about community. Took a lot of pictures. Also met DJ Honeybee. Shout out to her. Super nice. Took a flick with her. And as we're standing there, I can't remember who was DJing at the Beat Junkies booth, but as we're standing there, Crook was like, "Oh yeah, we got to interview you." So I did a little short interview on Road Podcast. Hopefully that come out, because they asked me some interesting questions. I had some great answers. I'm not going to tell you what they are, because you just going to have to find out. So that's that, and that was Friday, and so we had left NAMM at 4. So in the meantime, I already saw this weekend when I was coming out, the homie Black and Miles was going to be at Blind Barber in Culver City. So I was like, I'm going to pull up on it. That's the homie. You got to support, right? And I saw Reese, IB Reese was going to be there on Saturday. So I'm like, I'm going to pull up on him too, because once again, y'all support me. Reese always come out when I DJ in LA, so I'm gonna come support him. Reese had hit me up that day. He was like, man, you want to DJ? I'm like, hell yeah. So he put me on the flyer. So I was like, bet. That was Saturday night when I had the DJ. But Friday, there was a DJ City Club Killers event at Yost Theater. And I seen Andrew Hypes was going to be performing. Big shout out to Andrew Hypes. Super nice guy. Somebody I talked to on IG. I actually told him I was going to be at NAMM. He's like, okay, let's go. Make sure you pull up on me. So I was like, all right, boom. I definitely got to pull up on you. Went to the DJ City event. It was from 6 to 9. There was a raffle for a rain System 1. And I really just went because I wanted to meet Andrew Hypes and went in there. This is actually when I found out my flight was canceled on Sunday and I had to rebook it for Monday. But met him real quick, chopped it up with him. They had free food and all that. Didn't stay for the raffle because we actually had to shoot over to Blind Barber. Oh, actually, no. So we had to leave because there was a Drake party at the Peppermint Club hosted by Rose God, and who's somebody I also talked to on social media. She had a Cowboy Carter event in Chicago when me and my wife went last summer, but it was the night we got in and we couldn't make it. So I was like, I definitely got to pull up to one of her events because I see her doing her thing and I salute what she does. Like being DJ / promoter is big shoes to fill. And so anybody that does that, I got to support it because I know how hard that is. So went to the Peppermint Club, standing in a long ass line. It was definitely busting. Went in there, got to take a quick picture with her. Shout out to DJ Social, got to hear him DJ as well. But then we booked it over to Blind Barber to pull up on Black and Miles. It was busting in there. Stayed there for a little bit. Did we go somewhere else that night? I feel like we did. Oh, also at the DJ City thing, shout out to DJ Audio 1. Met him. Also another great guy that I know from social media and had the pleasure of meeting him. So very thankful for that. I feel like we're doing stuff out of order. No. Okay. So that was Friday. So Saturday, this was the main event. So let me also say this, that FaZe, we love FaZe DJ. They had reposted, they actually took one of my reels and posted it on their page. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. It's a company that I love. So I commented, I was like, oh man, I'm a day one FaZe supporter. I appreciate y'all reposting my content. And I didn't actually go back and look at the content until Friday night. Not only was my reel at almost 1 million views on their page, and by far the number one viewed reel. Like the second highest reel had like 200,000 views and everything else was under 50. But they had replied like, oh, likewise, we appreciate all the day one people. We'll see you at NAMM. I was like, oh damn, I definitely got pulled to the booth then. Same thing with Hercules. Hercules actually debuted a brand new controller, DJ Control T10, which I have the DJ Control Impulse T7, which is basically a motorized DJ controller with 7-inch platters, and it was very affordable. I want to say it was like $700, which for motorized platters is crazy. So this is one with 10-inch platters, and I was like, this is dope. And so first 2 days, everybody was like, did you see this controller? Blah, blah, blah. People texting me. So I was like, all right, well, since both of these companies are hitting me on social media, I'm going to go to their booth and, run out some content. So that was the goal for Saturday. Go make content at FaZe, Hercules, talk to who I need to talk to, and get that going. So definitely did that at the Hercules booth. Got to get hands on to the T10. Got to talk to one of the representatives about the product. Also, Thurston was DJing at the Beat Junkies booth that morning. Got to see him get busy. He went crazy. Same thing for FaZe. The FaZe Pro is coming out. I think they said April. This one, better battery, touchscreen on it, customizable. That reel's probably going to come out same time this podcast comes out. So just check my page. You get the full review of that. And so that NAMM was a wrap. Did everything I needed to do. Met a bunch of people, took a bunch of pictures. It was amazing. So my homegirl KJ lives in LA. We always link up. So the three of us went to Sunday Gravy, which is around the corner from Chubby House. Had some pasta. That was a bad idea because I had Alfredo. Y'all know I can't eat no dairy. So my stomach was doing numbers, but I had a DJ that night. So went to Blind Barber. Had an hour set. Ended up doing 90 minutes. Went crazy. Tip here, DJs, that they had CDJ 3000s and an NXS2. So that's why you got to be nice on all the equipment, because you can't come in there and plug no controller and put it on top. You got to work with what they got, and that wasn't no problem. So that was Saturday. So remember, I was supposed to leave the next morning. Didn't. So we took the time the next morning to stop by So Classes in Inglewood. Big shout out to them. Oh, I also forgot. Yeah, I did do something else Friday night. I went to the Nile Bar. Big shout out to them. I was able to. That's actually my kind of place. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of them, they got the kitchen going. You sit down, eat, dance, big space. And shout out to Bang Jackson. Had him, he was doing his thing. So did that. See, this is why I need to make notes, because I know I was going to jump around and forget something. But Saturday, Soul Classics, which happens to be down the street from Nile Bar. Went to Mama's Chicken, had a good chicken biscuit. We loved that. And then we headed to Burbank because the Beat Junkies were having basically like a post-NAMM after party at their institute. I've never seen no shit like this before. Oh, it is like Beat Junkies building big ass classroom, like maybe like 12 or 15 DJ setups, one in the front. They had the Longatron, which is basically like a bunch of mixers and turntables in a circle where you can get in and freestyle scratch. They was doing that. Out back, they had two of the Reloop 7-inch turntables, people playing 45s. It was amazing. Like I said, if you like DJing, if you love DJing, this was like all-star weekend. This was like heaven. After that, the reason we went to Burbank, because the homies DJ Ola and DJ Bella Fox, they live in North Hollywood. So we went to a brunch spot, had to have brunch with them, talked to them about DJing, life, all that. And then that night, which I didn't know, I was talking to Thurston, and he was like, yeah, man, you got to pull up. No, he said, I see you on Sunday. And I was like, oh, at the Beat Junkies? He's like, no. And he sent me a flyer. Him, Ease, Trays, and two other DJs going to be at Long Beach. I was like, okay, bet. So I told Chubby, he's like, cool, we can pull down. So went to Long Beach. It was a huge venue overlooking the pier. I got to see Ease and Thurston DJ. We got the too late for Trays, but bro, they was rocking the party. Like, once again, it's one thing to see them do these routines, and they're crazy and cuts and all that. That's great. And I'm in awe. I'm like, man, I need to practice. But then to see them rock a party, I'm also in awe. Like the quick mixing, the playing all genres. We don't use the term open format because we know what that means. But a DJ by nature is open format because a DJ just plays all genres. That's just not exclusive to hip hop. Going crazy. And also, those of you from Columbus, Ohio, I think it's really just Ohio in general. Like, it's not too many crowds that want to hear all type of music. They only want to hear what they're familiar with. But that crowd out there is people, black, brown, white, old, young, already there party, and they're listening to every song, like dancing to every song, having a good time. Like I was just super happy to be there and super happy to be able to witness something like that, because it's just like, it's crazy that like this is why I DJ, to be able to play music for people that want to hear it, to be able to, I have an appreciation for the music. So that was just the best cap for the weekend, if I'm being honest. And so we were supposed to go to OG Sunday that night, but I'm like, man, I gotta get up dumb early to go to the airport. So, went home with a sleep and went at 6 o'clock flight. So, also I came back to the airport My car was parked in long-term parking, plugged into the charger, and was buried in snow. And the defrost, I mean, it was nice and toasty when I got in. That snow did not come off my car, and I did not have a brush in my car, so I used the old sleeve. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. Happy to be back with my family. But man, if you're a DJ, you should definitely go to NAMM. Let's go next year. Let's all go mob up there. It's just it was such an amazing time. I got to meet so many amazing DJs, networking, got to see much of different performances that inspired me. Like, it was well worth traveling, paying the money, running around. It was well worth it. And like I said, it also inspired me. It's like, it showed me that the content that I make is reaching people, and people are seeing it, and people are familiar with it. But also, I want to step it up now. I want to be more creative, do more creative things. I want to be a better DJ, technical wise and party rocking, all of that. I want to just be better because I was around so many people that have such a better mastery of the craft. And, that's outside of party rocking. Like, party rocking comes like with the experience. Like, it's like being a better basketball player playing one-on-one. You got to play somebody to be better. Like, so you can get tendencies and all that. You got to be in front of people. But being a better technical DJ, you just got to get in the lab and practice. That's you versus yourself. So both of those things I like. I see how much further I can go with DJing, and that inspired me. So real quick, I just want to take the time to not play my phone loud and just go through and shout out everybody. And if I miss somebody, my apologies. I'm just going through everything I posted on Instagram, which should be everybody. So shout out to everybody I met at NAMM, Waddy J, DJ Popo, Trays, Mixmaster Mike, Canvas, DJ Honeybee, DJ Active, DJ Ghetto, Flawless. Of course, shout out to Jazzy Jeff, Andrew Hypes, Nick Davis, Spider Tech, Ken Dollars, Audio One, Honeybee. Oh, shout out to Mojax. It's crazy. Like, we all watch Mojax videos when new products come out. It's crazy to meet him in person and be like, oh man, he really sounds like that. Of course he sounds like that. That's how he talks. But it's Mojax. He got that very distinct voice. DJ AK, big shout out to Train of Thought Collective for having me over and blessed me with some merch. Shout out to the Road Podcast. Shout out to Crooked, Jamie the Great, DJ Goldfinger, Never Forever, always. I'm still going. Shout out to Reese. Shout out to Soul Classics. Once again, shout out to Thurston. Ease, if I didn't say that already. Shout out to the Beat Junkies. Babu, Mr. Chalk, Melody, Redmatic. Those are the ones I met, at least. Shout out to, I met somebody from Pittsburgh, and I got DJ QRX. I told you I'm gonna pull up on you once the weather break. Can't drive in these conditions, but yeah. Who else? Is it everybody? I think that's everybody. But once again, oh no, I missed a whole post right here. I actually pinned this one because, yeah. Rose God, DJ Social, and big shout out to Hercules, DJ, FaZe, Alpha Theta, Serato. Hopefully I can be an ambassador for these companies and next year perform at one of these booths. That's the plan anyway. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to make that a goal. I want to be performing at NAMM next year. Mark this, write it down. And for those DJs out there listening, I would say that, being intentional and making content has helped with all this. Like, there's different routes to grow your brand. Making content is one of them. Performing, rocking parties, create your own party, battling, traveling. All this is important, and it was important for me to, doing all this on social media. I need to meet people in person, and so I'm glad I got the experience, and hopefully that inspires you. So that's it. Look, it was only 45 minutes, so not that bad this time. Once again, this is Put It On Record, and this is what? This is the fourth one this year. Yeah, I did a solo one too, so shout out to y'all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Share this with somebody that you think can learn from it, especially if they're a DJ. I'm going to be back next week. I confirmed my guest. Ricio will be in that chair right next to me. And we talking about health and wellness. And I lost a bunch of weight this year. I lost a bunch of weight in recent history, but in this past month, I lost a bunch of weight. And I want to talk to you about it and talk to you about how I did it, because health is wealth. She's going to talk to you about her fitness journey, and we're going to talk about some controversial topics around certain things. So tune in. But until then, keep being dope. Community. I'm out of here.